Hello, hey, hi, welcome. I am Astrid, I am Wattle and Wool, and welcome to the part of the internet where I love to talk about knitting and being creative. Today is about trying to find the motivation to continue the project that I need to continue, and not about putting it down, which will end up in the whip pile, the long forgotten banished whip pile that I will never touch again. And starting everything else that I really want to do. So welcome to me trying to convince me to keep doing what I'm doing unsuccessfully. So what is the project that I am struggling to finish at the moment? It is this. This is my British jumper, and to give myself some credit, I actually really love it. It is an all over British jumper, so I feel like in the time it has taken me to knit this, because every British round is a knit and then a purl round, I could have done 30, 200, 647 other things, to be precise. And it's so annoying because I actually really freaking love this jumper. It is beautiful, it is cozy, it is pink, it is tweedy, it is kind of accidentally striped, but that's okay. It is just glorious. It's thick and squishy and beautiful, and to be perfectly honest, part of me actually wants to make another one in mohair, because of course in a Western Australian climate where our summers get up to 50 degrees Celsius and our winters do not fall below zero, that is exactly the kind of jumper I'm wanting to make, duh. But seriously, it is just so gorgeous. And I've designed it, so I might be a little bit biased, but seriously, I really like it. And I just don't want to keep knitting it. And it's not because of a pattern problem, it's not because of anything, it's just because it's British. And I feel really hypocritical because I have a theory that if I design anything, and before I hear anyone out there be like, what, you design? Yeah, I'm really bad at putting my stuff out there. I really need to get better. And that's part of what's going through my head as well. But if I do design anything, I want it to be something that I want to knit. And then hopefully the passion of me knitting it comes through in the final project and in the writing of it. And then when you see it on wherever you see it and you're like, wow, that looks awesome. And then you knit it and you're like, yes, I want to knit this. I don't want it to be, oh, well, even the designer struggled. Because if even the designer struggled with something else, I would want to knit that. And to be fair, it's not the pattern that I'm struggling with, like I said. It's just the bloody brioche, mate. Like, we've got a saying in Australia, we're not here to fuck spiders. Sorry for the crassness. And basically it means we're not here to fuck around. We're not here to mess around. We're not here to just waste our time. Spiders are everywhere. Spiders are the little bits that kind of emerge from all the little dark crevices and black holes and stuff. And we ain't here to do that. We're here to get the job done. And this is just a whole lot of spider fornication. And I'm really tired of it. But at the same time, I love it so much. So this is like part of the problem, that I feel like I'm putting it down to admire it. I'm not putting it down, I mean, I am partly putting it down to go, oh my God, how much have I done? I've been knitting on this for 3 hours straight, and what do you mean I've only done an inch? So that is exhausting. I figured out I need to do about 12 more inches on this sleeve, and that's before I even start the second sleeve. So Sleeve Island is a real lonely place here, guys. And then I've got the edgings to do, the pickup, the finishings, plus I don't even know if this is a long enough jumper. I have a feeling it's not. And part of my problem is that I don't actually know how much this jumper is going to grow in the blocking process. So I knit this, make sure my shirt is, there's my shirt and on my stomach. I knit this to literally what I swear was below my belly button. So my belly button is right here. I knit this to below my belly button. But because it's brioche and bouncy, she just bounces right up. So there's no drape, as in wait to fall down. brioche tends to kind of expand in this beautiful way. So it's like ribbing without the close to body feeling. And so it does allow this cozy kind of voluptuous feeling where you're wrapped in yarn. But the problem is it just doesn't hang enough. Maybe it is because it's in fingering weight. I mean, it is 3.75mm needles. I am really adding to my complexity here. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is I love it so much that I want it done. I'm just struggling on the doing it bit. And it's really taken me a hot minute here. So this is what I'm trying to work on, what I'm trying to convince myself to work on. And now let me show you all the other temptations that I've got that I really want to work on, that I don't want to do this. That is, I have to say, it's become my tutoring project. So when I go to because I tutor outside of school hours, when I go to tutoring, I will take that with me and I will be working on it in tutoring. And yeah, the kids are like, wow, you're making no progress. And I'm like, oh no. And I only see them once a week. So like, that doesn't tell you. Kids are honest. So, I mean, look, it's a struggle. It really is a bit of a struggle. But I am, like I said, I am loving it. I need to like calm down. I feel like I got my rage out. Okay, so a couple of other options that are staring me in the eye, saying, make me, are the following. Caked and ready to go. Well, balled up, not caked, but balled up and ready to go is this violently beautiful pair. I love how I keep saying aggressively neon, and it's the only description I can come up with. Like, it is beautiful in its vibrancy and kind of high-vis tradie anger, but I love it. And that is pairing with this fingering slub. These are both from the White Rabbit Handmade, and I got them both in Bendigo, and yeah, Bendigo Sheep and Wool. And I'm actually quite obsessed. These two are going to become my favourite things knitwear vest number 2, the springtime edition, and I just want to start them right now. I've been bargaining with myself quite a bit, and I think if I can get one sleeve finished, then I can cast these on. So that is currently my bargain with myself, my allowance of myself. So it does motivate me to get to that, and then I can cast this on. I can only do a few inches of this before I have to start on the next sleeve, but at least I can start getting some of the desire to cast onitis things, because how can you not want this when it's just staring at you and they're balled up and they're ready to go and they look at me so pretty. Look at them. Do you agree? They look so deserving to be made. Just, how can I deny them? This is part of the problem. One of the reasons that I haven't been as consistent on my brioche jumper, or no, I've been fairly consistent, feeling like I'm making progress on my brioche jumper, is I've just been so busy and really tired. I feel like I've fallen back into what we used to call the Golden Triangle at university. So where I come from in Perth, we have the Golden Triangle of suburbs, and they tend to be the most well-priced, the most expensive, the most high-class private schools, and I was not one of those. So going to university, that was in the centre of the Golden Triangle, was a bit of a world shock for me. And so there was that Golden Triangle. Then there is the second Golden Triangle, and this Golden Triangle is the Golden Triangle of, can you sleep? Can you have a social life? And can you get your stuff done? Can you get those assessments in? Can you pass your exams? Can you actually make decent grades? And I only know one singular person who has managed to have a decent ratio of all three, and I genuinely don't understand how she did it. I tend to do sleep and friends until probably week 10 out of the 13-week semester, knowing that exams like week 15. I would do sleep and social, and then I would just cram everything in the success bit. This is also with having several part-time jobs, and I feel like this is part of what's holding me back again at the moment. I love my students. I've spoken many times about the fact that I'm a high school teacher and I love my students. And one of the things that I do with my kids is I promise them if I have taught them and if they will graduate year 12, which admittedly sometimes it's quite a big deal because not all of my kids can, then I will knit them something for when they graduate. Currently, last year and this year, it has been beanies. Next year, it's going to be something slightly different, which I'm so excited to start. But I have so many beanies that I need to make and literally not enough time to make them. I think I figured out I need to make approximately 2 a week. Yeah, we ain't got time. So it means that this is a lot of the time, these are what I'm making. It's easy, they're repetitive, I don't have to focus, I can just zip, zip, zip. But it does mean that a lot of my thinking time, a lot of my non-knitting time, it does mean that a lot of the knitting time I have to work on things is taken up by year 12 beanies and not by British jumpers and Sleep Island. So while on one hand, I am not going to stop because I love doing this for my kids. And I love just seeing them be proud of graduating, whether or not they're going to wear them. I don't actually care. That's actually not part of, like, I'm not doing it so that they wear them. I'm doing it to congratulate them for graduating a hard thing. And so that's what I care about. So for me, I'm not going to stop knitting these beanies, and I'm so passionate about knitting these beanies, but I did not time manage very well at all. And I really need to hurry up and do them quite quickly. So this is also getting in my way of knitting the brioche jumper. Beanie count at the moment, I need to make 33. I think I have made 11. So I'm a third of the way there. And graduation is coming up in about 8 weeks. So yeah, we're stressed. The next reason, or the next, I guess, temptation to not be knitting on my brioche jumper is the yarn came in for my Pearl Shadow, was it dot top? The Shadow Knitting dot top by P1 Zip. And I am so excited to cast this on. So this is the beautiful red by My Creative Garage. It is Gazelle red and this is a Gazelle pink. So they fit together. This came in the mail the other day and as you can see, I have not opened it and I have not bound anything because there is too much temptation, and I know the minute I do, she's on a needle and she's off and there's going to be no catching me, and I need to stay true to getting some Sleeve Island worked on. So this is going to be the dot top, or the dot top, and I'm really excited. The thing that is holding me back at the moment is the fact that we keep going through these weird phases of hot and cold, and at the moment I don't need essentially a summer knit. I'm still knitting jumpers, I'm still wearing scarves, I'm still, you know, rugging up a fair bit. I think once the weather properly turns and it hits like consistently getting into the 20s, again Celsius, then I'm going to be desperately casting this on, but I'm not just there yet. There is also, along with this, the one that I want crop that I started making out of a similar combo to the other one, a fingering mohair and a fingering slub from Wool & Works in a green. I don't know if I've got the green in somewhere in here. And I am about halfway through that, and it's like a Garter short row little crop vest. Again, that's going to be so adorable. So I really, really, really want to finish that, but I'm also kind of trusting that I don't need it just yet because the temperatures aren't high enough to desire it or to demand it. So these are coming closer. They're like in the back of my mind, they're creeping to the front and they're going to be cast on, I can guarantee, in the next probably 2 episodes, but not just yet. The last thing out of all of these other temptations, desires, distractions is what I believe will be my birthday cast on. I turn 33. Is it 33? I think it's 33. I keep forgetting how old I am. I turn further into my 30s at some point in September. So the end of September, I will be turning more into my 30s. I believe it's 33. I'm pretty sure it's 33. And I want to make a colourwork cardigan with these two, and ideally I want to steek it. But to know if I can steek it, because I've never steeked anything in my life, so of course I'm going to create my own colourwork cardigan that I have to steek all on my own that I've never done. I do tend to learn by designing. Never did brioche till I designed something with brioche. Never did colourwork till I designed something with colourwork. It's a whole thing. But I really want to see if I can do this. But what I need to do is I need to cast on a swatch and see how that knits up. And then I need to cut into it and see if the cutting is possible. And if it'll still hold everything. I obviously need to practice doing the steeking support stitches, all of these things. So this is something that I need to cast on to check if I can do. And I would love to cast this on for my birthday. They have been wound up for a few months now because I'm so desperate to get to them. And yeah, this as a birthday knit would just be so beautiful. I'm really in a greens phase. I've been in a tweedy phase for a while, and these two are just beautiful. I did buy them in Dublin, I believe. And to be able to use some travel knits just makes me so happy. It makes me feel very worldly and very cozy and very like, this is the reason that I travel, you know? So this is, yeah, this is kind of probably, is it the last? One of the last distractions that I've got that I desperately want to be casting on. No, it's not the last distraction. One of the last distractions that I've got that I really, really, really want to be casting on, and I need to get the swatch done. So if I was to cast this on my birthday, I'd need to get the swatch done before my birthday, which makes me want to do it more. So maybe I need to rejuggle a few things. I need to finish off the sleeve, then I can do the swatch, then I can do the vest, start the vest, then I can finish the second sleeve. Maybe that'll work. I have absolutely no idea if it will work or not, but we're just gonna hope. We're gonna cross our fingers and absolutely hope for the best. The last actual temptation is this. So this is the Naturally New Zealand Possum Fusion that I bought in Ballarat when I was over for Bendigo, and I bought a sweater's quantity of this one and I added a few of this blue so that I can do a beautiful colour work with these. It has been weirdly cold lately, and like I'm confused about the cold. Normally by about this point it does start warming up consistently, and our temperature kind of, it swings down and then it goes up. This time it's kind of swung down and then up, and it's been horrible. So every day is a lesson of checking the temperature, checking the forecast, checking what I'm going to be doing. Am I going to be inside where I know my students are going to have the air or the heater 28 degrees, which is so hot, by the way. Oh my god. And they're sitting still and I'm the one dancing around to the front like a lunatic trying to get them excited and learning they've never asked for. So I'm going to be really hot. Or if it's going to be a day where I'm just going to be, if we've got an assembly and so we're going to be sitting still and I'm going to be watching stuff, you know, all these different things. So I really have to make sure that what I'm wearing doesn't overheat me, but lately it's been lots of jumpers. And this has really inspired me to start this jumper. I want to make a colourwork, sort of a Tecumseh style jumper. So I already own the Tecumseh pattern. What I really want to do is look at it because I love that oversized boxy relief kind of feel. I want it to be nice and not fitted, but like a decent neckline, and then kind of get out to about here and then start drop sleeves. So the sleeves are gonna like be quite low. And then I really want it to be, I keep thinking like a flower, a floral pattern with this one that's going to be in different rates. So again, similar to the Tecumseh, I cannot speak today. I want it to be at the upper bust line, and then I'm thinking kind of just underneath the bust, which I do have issues with because sometimes it can highlight boobs too much and that's not a comfortable feeling, just too much perception. However, I think with an oversized flowy kind of jumper, I think it'll fit. I think it'll be alright. And then again, a kind of a high hip-y, kind of low just underneath your waist point. I think that's where I want these 3 to hit. And I think it's going to be super cute. I really do like it. I've got a big idea for it. And the colder it's been lately, the more I just want to rug up with big, thick jumpers. And I don't actually have, again, because it's Australia, I don't actually have too many warm jumpers. And I know this sounds weird, because you're like, what the heck, you've got loads of jumpers, you've knit them. Yes, I have. But a lot of my jumpers I knit for the Australian climate, which means I knit them to be like what would be a spring or an autumn jumper somewhere else in the Northern Hemisphere. I don't knit jumpers to need warmth, because I don't need warmth here. But then recently I've needed warmth and it's confused me. So all of a sudden I'm needing warm jumpers, and I've never knit warm jumpers because I've never needed warm jumpers. And now I'm struggling without warm jumpers. So I wanted this to be a nice warm jumper. Say warm jumper one more time, I swear to God. Oh my goodness. So this is going to be a beautiful, cozy jumper that I really want to get on with. And it's living rent-free in my head. As you can see, I have so many fantasy knitting projects and not enough time to even knit the actual knitting projects, except beanies. Oh my God, so many beanies. So that is, yeah, holding me back from what I want. The other really annoying part of all of this is just the cognitive load of life. And I have been so busy lately, and it's been ridiculous. I have just literally been nonstop. And it's led to me being so tired that I don't even want to pick up my needles, because that's more work, you know, it's more effort, it's more, ugh. And I have been struggling to knit at night, which is normally my time. So I've either been asleep by 7 p.m, which is so rare for me, or I have been just scrolling mindlessly on my phone. I've been really struggling to commit to the knitting, which is annoying because it's my passion and it's something that I love to do. But I've just been so overwhelmed by everything else going on that I haven't been doing it. And I mean, you know, there's always life stuff. Like, I'm not going to sit there and go into compare whose life is harder, because that's just a silly game. But it's led to me struggling to keep knitting. And yeah, so I feel a bit frustrated that my output is so slow. And then I love knitting podcasts. So I watch all these knitting podcasts and I see how much they're doing, and then I feel like I need to keep up, and then I feel mad at myself for not keeping up. I mean, technically I am keeping up. I've knit so many finished objects lately, but they're all beanies. So yeah, I'm kind of a bit in my head about all of this at the moment. I need to get better. And I think at the moment the only way to get better is to give myself grace, let myself rest. And then when the knitting mojo taps me on the head, stabs me with a needle, you know, whatever it is, that's when I'm going to get back into it. So just allowing myself that if I do want to knit, I knit, and if I don't, it's okay, and I will be fine. I don't have to. So yeah. Alright, it is time for me to go. I have to go to tutoring, where ironically, I'm going to be working on my British jumper. I will keep checking in. Hopefully I can keep checking in during the week and let you know where I'm up to. So current stats, we've got 4 fantasy projects that I'm working on in my head and not in real life. I have got the Tecumseh style sweater, not the actual Tecumseh, obviously. I've got the Tecumseh style sweater. I've got the Knit One Purl One dot top, the shadow knitting. I have got the swatch that I need to do for my dream cardigan that I'm going to steek, and I've got the vest number 4 springtime edition. These are all things that I am fantasy knitting on, plus I have to make 22 more beanies in 8 weeks, so we got to get onto that one. And still stuck on the first Sleeve Island. Not even the second island. I'm just on the first island of Sleeve Island. So let's see where I come back to. I'll check in with you in a little bit and we'll see what we get up to. Alright, I'll see you soon. Hello, hi, hello, welcome. I am Astrid, I am Wattle and Wool, and I think we've already done this intro, so let's just get on with it. I am coming back to you at the end of the week. It is Friday. It is Friday the 21st of August, and let's talk about what has been going on. So, this brioche top update. I have knit quite a bit of it. I mean, I finished off the body and then I got one sleeve mostly done. I probably need, I'd say, another 2 inches. For some reason, even though I'm Australian, so we use metric, like centimeters, my brain just goes for inches in knitting. Very weird. But I probably need just a little bit more in the sleeve, like another 5 centimeters, 2 inches, something like that. Just because it's nice and loose and round, and I really want it to come cinch in at the sleeves in quite a dramatic style. So I really, yeah, I want it to be that kind of balloony. It's actually not as balloony as I had thought it would be. I'll put it on. So this is it blocked. I will show you like a before and then after. Well, I guess before. And this is the after. I'll show you the before of this because it was so dense. Like, it was really, yeah, dense. It bloomed a lot in blocking, which is what I had intended and knew would happen and had like banked on, but I didn't know how much it would grow. So the neckline I really like. It's a nice V without being inappropriate, so I feel like I could wear this to work. Always a good a good thing that I'm not wearing something inappropriate to work with children. And I'm going to have a collar, like a t-shirt kind of collar, that's going to come up over this, like the top. It's probably going to come from about here, I think, is where I planned on it, and the rest of it is just going to be around. And then this is already finished as it is. This sleeve finishes just a little bit before my wrist, so I would like it to be, like I said, another probably 5 centimeters, just a little bit longer, so that when it comes in it really cinches in. But it's not as balloony as I kind of, I guess, anticipated, which is actually quite fine. I think if it was too much it would overpower, so I'm actually really happy with the flow. Like, I'm shaking my arm, I'm quite happy with the movement of that. Like I said, it'll cinch in. This is, I was trying to think about how to describe it. It's not like open because it's brioche, but at the same time it's not obviously my second second sleeve to go. This is, I would say, like a spring autumn kind of top. It's not winter, like a true winter, and it's definitely not warm enough, like the breeze would come through this, but it's brioche, so it's kind of squishy and comfy and cozy, and I do really like it. So I'm almost done on Sleeve Island on this one, and then I will jump onto Sleeve Island on this one. But I am so glad that it bloomed so much, because otherwise I actually don't think I would have been able to keep going. I think I would have been done. I'm still not sure how I want to finish the body. Definitely going to have tight ribbing on the sleeves, and like I said, that kind of polo neck collar on the neck. But I'm wondering if I just leave the body, like almost don't even have a finishing, just bite it off and then just leave it so it just finishes. I'm wondering if I need a ribbing, because I actually quite, if you can see that, I actually quite like how it just flows and then stops. It doesn't feel like it needs a ribbing band. And I think as well, because I do want this to be kind of breezy and loose-ish, I think a ribbing band would bring it in too much. So I do want it to be kind of boxy, I guess, that oversized kind of comfy fit. So yeah, so this is my work in progress, but I'm really, really happy with it. And I also feel like now that I've blocked it, I mean, look, it's still pretty obvious that colour band, especially here. I am wearing a black bra, obviously, so that colour difference is quite strong, but I feel as though it's just a band here. So I feel like the colour difference actually isn't too pronounced between the different skeins. This is 2 skeins here, the top and then the second, and then again the sleeve is a third. It is noticeable, but it's not irritatingly so. Like, I can live with it, which I was a little bit worried about because I didn't know if I could. So overall, I'm really happy with this. This is like a mid-project check-in. And yeah, now that I've blocked it, I now know the gauge measurements. I do a gauge swatch. I feel like gauge lies. Gauge is a liar. It's a lying liar that lies, and it doesn't tell me the truth. So every time I try and measure something and like predict what the gauge is going to be, I just have no idea. So I find like when it's in a big project or a big product, and then you actually wash it and block it and lay it out to dry, then it tells you the truth. So I wasn't going to go off my gauge swatch. I don't even know where it is, because I swatched for this ages ago. But I wasn't going to believe my gauge swatch and my numbers that I have written down, just because lying liar that lies. So now that I know the actual gauge and measurements, I feel like I can grade this properly, and hopefully by the time that I finished it, it'll be up for testing and it'll be a lot nicer. So that's my brioche top. In and amongst the brioche top being worked on, I don't have a name for it yet, I need to think of something. But while I was doing that, I had a full day where I needed to wash and block, and so obviously I couldn't be knitting on it. So I started something else. This is one of my Bendigo projects, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. So using these 2 yarns, this is Sunshine in the mohair, and then this is Pop Rocks in the fingering boucle, and I love them. I really do love them together. The problem is this is obviously quite pink and this is neon yellow, but it's kind of got like a hint of green undertone, and when you put them together, which was the plan, I don't like the outcome. I don't like the combined colour. I don't think it looks good on me. I feel like it washes out the pink and it makes it like a greeny base, which this neon lime green, slime green almost, is not my colour, which is what you're getting when you're mixing it in with that orange. I'm really disappointed because I was so looking forward to this and I hate it. I really, really hate it. So I'm going to rip it back. I am not going to use this mohair with this boucle. I don't know what mohair to use though. I'm wondering if I go back to the Fairy Bread mohair that I bought from Wool & Works, which was the original plan when I was at Bendigo, because I know that I'm going to use those. Like, I know that I would enjoy that. But yeah, I'm really hating this combo. Sorry, I keep looking at it because I'm so disappointed in it. It had so much promise, and then as soon as I started knitting it up, I was like, nah. And I've tried it in about 4 different light settings, in lamp, in natural light, in bright overhead light, in every torch light, everything you can think of, and I don't like it. So this makes me really sad. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that yellow either. It's just not my colour at all. It would have worked so well with this, but it's not working. The other thing is, and I feel like this would take more effort, but if I did a checkerboard kind of thing, if I did just in the boucle and then just in the yellow and then just in the boucle and then just in the mohair, I think that would be a really cool technique or like texture that would come out. I actually like that idea, but I don't know how it's going to work, and I feel like it would be a lot more intarsia than I'm willing to do, because it would look weird carrying things in the back. All in all, love the concept, hate the finished object of it, or hate the progress of it. I'm going to rip it back. it's just not, I just don't find any of this nice to me. I am all made up because I'm going to go out to a concert in a minute. But even no makeup, like it's just, there's no winning. There's no winning. So I'm really disappointed and really sad by it, but no, in the bin. I feel like I can even feel by my attitude right now. Like when I'm talking about it, I'm like, oh, I just don't like it, you know? So when I realized that I wasn't enjoying that, I figured I have other projects to continue. I didn't want to start something new. Ironically, I'm going to start something new, but I didn't want to start something new because I just have so many projects, and I was like, well, I just started that one and it didn't work out, and how much more disappointing would it be if I started something else and it didn't work out? I kind of got it all in my head. So I picked up what alpaca boucle and mohair is meant to look like. This is the one that I want, Crop by Lily Kate Makes, and I've just finished the front. I need to, and the side, this is a strap. I need to get on to doing the second part, but I absolutely love it. It is definitely a crop, so I mean it's not exactly very big, but I am thinking I would do like a pleat at the bottom of it, like some sort of skirty kind of concept, and I just love it. I really like it, and I like it even more in context of the failed one that I hate. So that the yellow and the pink is just not it for me, but then this with the greens is so summery and spring and happy. There's a plane. So yeah, so I'm just loving this. I'm so glad I remembered where I was up to. Oh my goodness, because it's so many short rows going throughout the pattern. If you don't know where you're up to, if you can't read your knitting, it's crazy because it's all garter stitch. But it's also a really good way to practice reading and knitting, so I would totally recommend this to an ambitious beginner. So someone who is kind of a bit more than a beginner, I would really recommend this. I think it is a beautiful pattern. The one thing I'm nervous about though is A, how much it stretches, because I do not have that much bust. I'm getting really confused at my measurements, and I've talked about this before. I keep thinking that my bust is like a 44 inch, which it is. Every time I measure it, it's like, yeah, you are. And then I knit something that's 44 inches, or like for that sizing, and it's like, no, you're not. So I don't know. I think I need to start sizing down and using more negative ease, because maybe I'm going for too oversized. I don't know. Something's wrong. Something's wrong in some of the measurements, but it is a beautiful, I'm looking it upside down, but it is such a beautiful pattern. It's such a cool, fun idea. And like this cool boucle, I don't know if you can even see it in the fabric. You've kind of got these like little blips and blops and changes, and oh, it's just so cool. So this makes me really happy in the way that the yellow and the pink does not. So I've been really enjoying this. I finished section H last night, so I'm up to section I, which is basically coming back around. So I'm over halfway, well over halfway, and yeah, I'm so eager to finish this off, and then I can add on to doing whatever else I want to do with it. But it'll be really fun. I just really like it. I think it's going to be a really cute, like, spring kind of staple in my wardrobe. I don't have very many spring summer knits. For someone who lives in Australia, love knitting a jumper. So I need to have many more. So hopefully this will be like the start of it. Yeah, it makes me really happy. I really like it. So I know that I started this whole video thing with like, I need to at least get one whole sleeve of the brioche top finished. And then I can at least start on the vest number 4, which was that combination yellow pink that I hate. And I mean, kind of did. I got a bit. But 2 things. Number 1, it is the school carnival in 2 weeks, and I'm in red faction, and we're meant to dress up. I'm not going to dress up. I'm going to wear something red that I have. And I was thinking, what is more perfect to be me, be truly me, and celebrate and have like enjoy the school culture as the dot top. So these are my two colours. It's red and pink. We had a whole like house rally, like faction rally today at school, and my house is red, and so I was in complete pink. I had a pink jumper, I had a pink pants, I had pink shoes, and everyone was laughing at me because they're like, oh, like you can't even be in red, you have to be in pink. So I think it's just funny and it's part of me, and it feels like it's a good combo. So I'm gonna do this dot top. I'm gonna wind the yarn and I'm gonna cast it on. I'm thinking I might even do like a little vlog just to kind of document my progress and see how I go with this. The problem is I'm going out tonight and I'm about to go to my best friend's house and see my goddaughter. So excited. And I can't bring something that I need to focus to her house because obviously I'm going to be spending the time with her and I don't want to be counting. And because I haven't started it yet, I know I'm going to be counting for that setup. So I'm definitely going to wind this up. But I figured I'd also wind up the Disco Diner holographic merino, the Stellina in DK, and I'm just going to cast this on as a scarf. So we're going to have dinner, we're going to hang out with her daughter, probably do bedtime stuff, read her a story, and then chat before we go into Freo. So I'm thinking that this is going to be perfect for just mindless knitting. I don't need to think about it. I already know what the pattern's going to be because I've written it in my head a million times. So this one I'm going to wind up as well. So these are my three that I'm about to wind up and cake into balls, or ball into balls, wound into balls, you know what I mean, get them ready. And I'm going to be knitting on this one tonight and then these two tomorrow. So that is kind of the week's progress. I did get quite far on my British top. I'm really happy that I did. I did start on my vest number 4. I'm really sad that I did because I don't like it. And I will be starting on these two right now. So thanks for joining me. Thanks for hopefully cheering me along. And yeah, I'll see you in the vlog for this one that I dropped the other one on the floor. Bye.